All right, guys, what an eventful day. Let me give you guys a quick backstory. So it snowed. It snowed about, I would say, 6, maybe 8 inches on Friday night. It came in hot. It came in heavy, and it came in real heavy. I'm talking wet snow, snow that doesn't go through wire easily. So it basically piled up on top of the settling cage and broke the settling cage. I came out here in the morning and the settling cage was damn near off of the loft, tilted far forward. It snapped at the joint. Let me see if I can show you guys here. So basically where this joint meets right into this section right here is where it snapped, and the whole settling cage was tilted forward. I was able to lift it up with a friend and secure it in a couple spots to get it to work. Unfortunately, what I didn't pay attention to is the fact that the way it tilted forward, it put a wrinkle in the chicken wire right at this joint right up here. And about 8 or so youngsters found their way out today. Of course, I let them out yesterday with no issues, but there was enough snow on top of the roof that they didn't see the gap. Well, today they found that gap, and they gave us about 2 hours of heart-wrenching inconvenience, I guess I should say, more than anything, because I wasn't so worried about losing the youngsters as much as I was worried about how am I going to get them back in. I was not ready to move the settling cage over to allow for them to go through the trap. So I sort of locked everybody out into the settling cage, opened the aviary door, and I was able to walk a few in using food. The remainders I was able to net, and I got them all in within that 2 hour period. But within that 2 hour period, guys, they did go everywhere. There were birds in trees, there were birds in the woods, there were birds on the house, and they all made it right back, no problem. So they're definitely ready, whether or not I'm ready to settle them. They're definitely ready to be let out. And they fly well enough that they can go out and come right back. I think they're strong enough on the wing that they really can't fly too far necessarily, but maybe they can get away from a hawk attack if need be. So definitely, it's a good sign, I guess. I didn't intend it to happen, and of course, it's not what I wanted. I wanted to just have a chill day on the couch, but instead, I was out here chasing young birds, and I laugh about it now, but on the moment, it definitely wasn't funny. So I made all the right adjustments up there. I think I'll get this year out of this settling cage, and I will rebuild it for the following year. I know I had a suggestion in the comments that I should build it out of PVC. Not a bad idea. I just have to find a way to secure it. How it is secured up here on top of the loft right now is with screws. So I got screws strategically placed into certain pockets that don't cause damage, and I can reuse them. With PVC, I'm not sure how I would do that. Although it would make it really nice and light, and it make it last a lot longer. I'd have to figure out a secure point. But that's nonetheless, guys. Let's move on. Like I said, it was a fun day. And right now we got a double door set up. Let me just double check nobody's out in the hallway. Okay, nobody's all clear. I had to utilize the door. I'm not ready to take the door off yet, but I did receive another box of youngsters, and I did not want to overcrowd. We are over 30 youngsters now in this section here, and I didn't want to overcrowd them. So what I did was I left the door up, and I just basically hung it right here. That allows them to have the hallway without me having to worry about opening the loft door and the youngsters running out on me. So we just got done feeding. I got the heaters on. I know a lot of guys ask me every time why the drinker glows. That's just an old school water heater with a 40-watt bulb. That's why it glows. But nonetheless, guys, we are doing okay. Youngsters are coming along real nice. A lot of molting going on. They went from 24 hours of light to natural light, so they're going into heavy body molt. You can see that youngster right there is looking not so fresh, but they'll come around, no problem. I don't see an issue there. The sneezing you guys hear in the background is because I just pushed some Ecotonic in the water. They're not a fan of it, and I notice every time I give them Ecotonic, they'll spend the rest of the afternoon trying to sneeze it out of their nose. I don't think they like that oregano oils or whatever else they put in there, but I like to give it to them every so often, maybe once every couple weeks or so. I'll give them a dose of Ecotonic in the water, just as a preventative. I'm not expecting issues. So far so good, but again, just as a preventative. You can see some of these youngsters are, that one's falling apart on us. But that's fine. Again, I go through the darkening system, so the body molt doesn't bother me. What I'm going to be doing is darkening to salvage the flights. So going into the race season, I want them to be fully, all flights on the wing, I should say. So I'm not too concerned about body mold. The darkening system will hold the flights, and they'll go into the races with 10 flights on each wing, and we'll go from there. Apart from that, guys, we are moving right along. Youngsters are hatching. And let me get these guys out of. Come on, guys. Come on. We got youngsters hatching in every bull. And I'm going to start selecting which birds I'm going to be putting for a third round at the moment, because within a couple weeks I'll be having to move these youngsters anyway. And I only want to keep a certain few on here. Yeah, we got youngsters coming. We got youngsters hatching, guys. But that's pretty much it, guys. Not much else to talk about other than the excitement of the day. And again, as much as that of an inconvenience that was, it shows me that they are more than ready to be weaned. So 2 more weeks is what I'm thinking. 2 more weeks, I'll have them in the settling cage. By then, these youngsters should be ready to be settled, and then I'll have them in the settling cage in this section here, and then these guys will go off for the first time. So those 8 will be the pace setters for the remainers, and we'll go from there. If I lose some, I lose some. I'm not too concerned about it. Even today with the 8 that got out, I wasn't concerned about them at all. I mean, the likeliness of one of those 8 being a super bird, very unlikely. But I don't want to lose them that way either. So that's pretty much it, guys. We will see you on the next one. Hopefully something more to talk about. Apart from that, that's just a quick update on my end. Hope everybody's doing just as well. That's pretty much it, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.